Hey everybody, John Bailey, Gemstone Artist, back with another one of my quick answer videos to one of your faceting questions. I hope this one is enough to get you moving in the right direction or to improve your faceting. And thank you, by the way, for sending in, being brave enough to send in these questions, because not everybody is brave enough to do that. This question is from Dennis Davis, who writes in, most faceting designs have girdles with parallel edges. Why is that? The process of mounting stones doesn't really require parallel edges. Well, it doesn't, Dennis. While a straight girdle isn't necessary, it's certainly easier to work with, especially with commercial settings and using standard seat cutting techniques and tools like an awl sets. And so for those of us who aren't really super high-end goldsmiths, and I personally hate setting stones, parallel girdle facets makes that a lot easier, and all the jewelers that I know prefer them. So just as it's not necessary for us to work with materials that polish easily, most of us kind of like that, at least I do. So I try to think of the metal artist who will take what I call finished work and see that he sees that as raw materials or a component for his creative expression. And the goldsmiths that I've spoken to at the Faceting Academy, those guys mentioned that jewelers like stones that are easy to set, and they're a bit shy of stones that might be troublesome, just as a faceter might be shy of cutting troublesome gem materials. A lot of faceters won't cut things like spodumene. They're afraid it's going to break apart. So jewelers tend to get scared about the same things. If it's a weird stone, hard to set, a higher probability of them breaking it. So just like I'm more likely to invest significant capital in a tourmaline rough than I am in a spodumene, and not just because the per carat resale is higher, the jeweler's perspective is that odd girdled stone might be a little more like spodumene is to us. He may like it, but he may recognize that there's a higher risk of damage, and so he may be a little bit shy of it. Now, my gold bending friends aren't lazy. They just like process and pocketbook friendly materials, just like I do. So we can do weird stuff, and sometimes that's fun. And in terms of marketability, don't be surprised if the stuff with straight and smooth girdles moves quicker, at least to jewelers. Now, if you're a master gold bender, cut them as weird as you like, man. And if you've got a goldsmith maybe who likes weird stuff, fantastic. Take good care of him, build that partnership, and maybe that'll go far. So I hope this answer is helpful to your success and your enjoyment. I hope that you have more questions. Please ask them. Put them in the comments section, or other people who see this. Please ask your questions. I'll do my very best to answer them. And in the meantime, have great meets, and I'll meet you at thefacetingacademy.com.